Hello everyone, welcome back to Good Stuff Coding. Today we are diving into the world of Spring Boot, a fantastic framework that's revolutionizing Java application development. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our tutorials. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. In this video, we will take our first steps into the Spring Boot ecosystem. We will discuss what Spring Boot is, why it is so popular, and how to set up your development environment to get started. By the end of this video, you will have your first Spring Boot application up and running. So let's jump right in. Alright, let's kick things off by talking about what Spring Boot actually is. Spring Boot is a framework built on top of the popular Spring framework. It's designed to simplify the process of building production-ready applications in Java. Before we delve into the technical details, let's address the fundamental question: why Spring Boot? Spring Boot has gained immense popularity due to its ability to simplify and accelerate application development. Traditionally, setting up a Spring-based application involved configuring numerous components, which could be both time-consuming and error-prone. Spring Boot changes this landscape by providing a streamlined approach to building production-ready applications with minimal hassle. Here are some key features that make Spring Boot stand out. 1. Rapid development. It allows you to develop applications quickly by taking care of a lot of the configuration for you. 2. Convention over configuration. Spring Boot follows the principle of convention over configuration, meaning it provides sensible defaults, reducing the need for manual setup. 3. Embedded servers. It comes with embedded servlet containers like Tomcat, Jetty, and Undertow, eliminating the need to set up external servers during development. 4. Dependency management. Managing dependencies can be a pain, but Spring Boot's dependency management ensures that your libraries are compatible and up to date. 5. Auto configuration. Spring Boot automatically configures components based on the libraries you have in your class path, reducing boilerplate code. 6. Microservice ready. Spring Boot is designed with microservice in mind, making it an excellent choice for building scalable, distributed systems. If you want to know more about Spring Boot, I'll leave a link to this page in the description below, and you can check it out. Now that you have a taste of what Spring Boot can offer, let's move on to setting up your development environment. The first thing you need to do is set up your development environment. Here are the steps to get you started. The first step, installing Java Development Kit. You will need the Java Development Kit installed on your machine. Spring Boot is built on Java, so having the right version is crucial. We will be using Java version 17. You can download the latest JDK from Oracle. There is a link in the description. Step 2. You need to install an integrated development environment. You will need an integrated development environment. You can choose from a variety of IDEs, IntelliJ, Eclipse, Spring Tool Suite. But for this tutorial, we will be using IntelliJ IDE because it has great Spring Boot support. You can download it from JetBrains. There is a link in the description. The third step will be to create our Spring Boot project. With your IDE up and running, it's time to create your first Spring Boot project. We will use a fantastic tool called Spring Initializer, which simplifies project setup. Let's go to http://start.spring.io to get started. Now here, you can configure your project. So let's start. Now, we choose the project type as Maven, the language Java, and the Spring Boot version 3.1.3, the latest version. Now let's fill in the project metadata. For the group, we type com.gustafosu, and as you can see, the package name also changed to this. The artifact, let's say Spring Boot tutorial, and the name also changes. The packaging, select jar, and then the Java version, as I said, 17. Now let's add the dependencies. In the dependencies section, you can add the libraries you will need for your project. Don't worry, if you are not sure what to pick, you can also add more later. So for now, let's keep it simple and select the Spring Web dependency. This will set up everything you need to build web applications. We will add more as it becomes needed. So we click on Add Dependencies, and as you can see, there are a lot of dependencies. So now look for Web, and then we select Web. Now once you are ready, you hit the Generate button and it creates your application for it. Now it will download it as a zip file. So we have our zip file. Now moving on, we first have to unzip the file. And then in our IntelliJ IDE, we click on Open. We look for the unzipped folder. And we select and then click Open. So the project will be loaded into our IDE. So you have to wait a few seconds for it to finish loading. And voila! You've just set up your first Spring Boot project. You are now ready to start building Spring Boot applications. With the project imported, let's take a quick tour of the project structure and the key files. The first file is the src/main/java folder. Now, this is where your Java source codes will reside. The package structure mirrors the group and artifact name you specified during project creation. The second file will be the resources folder in the main src folder. Under the resources folder, we have the static and template folders and an application.properties file. The static and template folders contain front-end development files like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. Now, the application.properties file. This is one important file that we will need in our application development. This is where we configure application and environment-specific properties. Our third files will be the test folder. Now, unit and integration tests are placed in this directory. The fourth file will be the pom.xml, which contains the Maven dependencies. These files define your project's dependencies, the build settings, and more. So let's see what these files contain. So this is how the pom.xml file looks like. Now, during our project creation, We only added the web dependency, but then as you can see, Spring Boot has added another dependency to it, which is the testing dependency. So the testing dependency was added automatically for us. In this video, we've covered what Spring Boot is and how to set up your development environment, project structures, and files. In the next video, we will look at creating a basic API. So stick around. So if you found this information useful, give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below. Now don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next video in this Spring Boot tutorial series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.